This one you have.
Doyle, what do you want?
Your Honor, it will be a waiver, Mr. Mohammed Mubarak.
On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Mohammed Mbera, 24-03033, counsel defense.
Good morning, Your Honor. Casey Markarian, appearing on behalf of the people, make a motion to practice on Michigan Court Rule number 8.120.
May it please the court, Dan Doyle, appearing on behalf of Mr. Mubarak, who is present standing to my right.
Okay, Mr. Mbera, today was the date that was scheduled for a preliminary examination on one count of carrying a concealed weapon. My understanding is there's going to be an unconditional waiver of exam today.
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there an offer?
Your Honor, at this time, the offer that we had stated was to plea as charged with HYTA status, consent to HYTA. It's my understanding Mr. Doyle is looking to get a misdemeanor offer in circuit court on this file.
That's a fair statement, Your Honor.
Okay, and then Mr. Mbera, you want to waive your exam?
Yes.
Okay, you understand the purpose of the exam?
Yes.
We have the right here in district court to have a preliminary examination and require the prosecution put forth evidence to satisfy probable cause that a crime was committed and probable cause sufficient to charge you with that crime. Understand that?
Yeah.
Do you wish to unconditionally waive your examination?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Anybody threatening you to do that?
No, ma'am.
Any promises being made to get you to waive your exam?
No, ma'am.
You understand that it's unconditional, so you can't get to circuit court and change your mind. Once you waive it, it's gone. And if Mr. Doyle is not successful in getting you a misdemeanor offer, you can't come back and have your exam. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, your bind over date is December 18th. At the date the circuit court's gonna get the file from the district court, you do not need to appear in circuit court on that date, okay? Okay, sir? Your next court date is going to be a pre-trial in the circuit court, and that'll be set after that December 18th day. Your attorney will be made aware of that. Do you have any questions today?
No, ma'am.
Bond was set at 10,000 personal recognizance. That will continue. Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing from the people.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
You're all set. On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Carrie Jackson, 24-02765. Appearance for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Casey Markarian, appearing on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Dwayne Sullivan from the Office of Public Defender on behalf of Carrie Jackson Jr., who is not here, but I have something to place on the record.
Yes.
I received a mess email from my office at 8:32 this morning. The client called and asked if he could have his hearing rescheduled. He stated he has COVID. Please call back as soon as possible. Gave me a number, stated he'll be at the appearance. He will not be at the appearance this morning and is on his way to McLaren. I did call Mr. Jackson at that number, probably in the last 15 minutes. He seemed to be in the emergency room. I mean, I heard people around him coughing, throwing up. You know, I'm not a doctor. I can't attest to whether it was an act or he sounded sick. He said he's at the main campus at McLaren. I told him that he needed to get signed documents verifying that. And, you know, told him I'd inform the court and inform Mr. McCurry, which I did probably in the last 5 minutes or so ago. I would note that this case has overlap with the case that Mr. Jackson has scheduled for preliminary examination next Friday. There's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of overlap between the two, and we asked that maybe just be adjourned next Friday. I also did offer to Mr. McCarry that I was able to easily raise Mr. Jackson by phone, I would offer to do that again with the court if it thought it was necessary.
He's got a bond violation.
Yes, Your Honor.
So must be the new case.
Yes, Your
Mr.
Honor,
Vader?
the bond violation is, so the bond violation overlaps and is the same report for resisting and obstructing charge that's set for PCC this Friday in a preliminary exam next week.
So the misdemeanor case? Yeah, is he the second or the third? Second. Oh, so 1977. So the date of birth 1977. Okay. Yeah, looks like he's racked up a lot of allegations here. Do not use alcohol, do not harass, intimidate police, beat, molest, wound, stalk, threaten, or engage in other conduct that will place any of the following persons or child of the following persons in fear for bodily injury: spouse, former spouse, individual with whom he had a child in common, resident or former resident. Do not assault, harass, resist, beat, molest, wound Angela Ralston. Do not have third-party contact with Angela Ralston. Do not enter the following premises or be within 2,000 feet of wherever the victim lives, works, or goes to school. And then again, that was November 23rd. So he was supposed to be here for a hearing today. He needs to provide proof that he's in the emergency room.
I did advise him that that was going to be an absolute requirement. He needed to provide documentation.
I'll give him until I leave here today. I got a flight to catch. Otherwise, I'll issue a bond, revoke. And a bench warrant.
I would assume that if he is determined to have COVID or is
If he provides evidence
hospitalized, that there
of
would be some.
hospitalization, then we'll reset it.
Sure. I will call him, Your Honor. Thank you.
We need to address this before it's on record, otherwise they can change it in the system.
He's not here. I can't change, I can't address it. Change what? What's she trying to change?
On the MC form 97. the
I have no
prosecutor's
idea what
office-
that means.
Oh, the prosecutors actually didn't put August as the date of birth instead of February.
It's on February.
Mhm.
On which form?
He's got two files. He's here tomorrow, I believe.
This one has February. What do they want to address?
It JIS, a date of birth that has August,
On this file?
on his other file that's for Q.
This other file is not here. We're not on the record for that one, so we can't address it. And this one is the February birthday.
Yes. Same. Prosecutor's office needed to be addressed because they're the ones who made the mistake on that form, and that's what they have to.
I'm not disputing that, but you're not talking about the file that's on the record today. So then we don't need to address it today.
I think we're ready.
you popping up one, but everybody sick.
Oh, she's supposed to-
Yeah, who was that?
I believe that was Melvin Taylor.
He's gonna need a mask, come back again.
Security has one. Some different.
Oh,
What is he doing anyways? Can you hear with him?
that's gonna be the transfer to Judge Ward, Steve. Ward.
So we're not doing anything with him.
All right, I didn't know if we needed to go on the record or not, Your Honor. Connor, but the coordinator said that after this hearing, he would get with Judge Ward to find a date and get with myself and Ms. Robinson to get a date to take the plea.
He appears to Zoom, okay, who's representing him?
Ms.
That's my
Robinson.
case, Judge.
Due to his presumptive illness, we're gonna find good cause to go beyond the 21 days. And we're gonna set this so that he can be screened for DV court. I don't need him to come back in here sick.
Okay, I can let him know.
Okay,
Are we gonna get a control date or?
yes.
Just until like December 19th at 9.
December 19th? I will let him know. Thank you.
Do you need the plea sheet for the file, Your Honor? We did have one filled out.
Yes, please. Thank you. Which matters are you here for? On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Aaron Conlon, 24-03413, council appearance.
Morning, Your Honor. Case Mark Arian appearing on behalf of.
Steve Julian here for Mr. Conlon, who's standing to my right.
Okay, and today was the date that was scheduled. It's for a preliminary examination on assault, weapons and a disorderly drunk, but my understanding is there's a waiver.
Yes, Your Honor, we've agreed to waive the preliminary exam, be bound over and continue plea negotiations. We're making progress.
Yes, Your Honor. The people would also unconditionally waive their right to an exam. For the record, we did have an updated plea offer on this since the PCC. The plea offer has been updated to plead guilty to an amended count 1 of attempt felonious assault. And we would dismiss the other two with mandatory forfeiture of firearm and CPL in question.
As long as we're talking about officers, we're also working on possibly getting sobriety court involved.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, and Mr. Conlon, that's how you want to proceed? You want to waive your preliminary examination? You understand that the purpose is to require the prosecution put forth evidence to establish sufficient probable cause that a crime was committed and probable cause sufficient to charge you with the felonies?
Yes, sir.
Okay, anybody promising you anything to get you to waive these? Waive your exam? Okay. For some reason. Any threats being made to you to get you to waive your preliminary examination? Your bind over date is gonna be December 18th. That's the date the circuit court gets the file from the district court. You do not need to appear in our circuit court on that date. We do not do arraignments in circuit court unless you make a motion to be rearranged for some reason, okay? So otherwise, your next court date will be a pre-trial after that date, and your attorney will be made aware of that, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Has your address changed since you were arraigned?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, bond was set. I'm trying to read this handwriting. It looks like 2000, 10%. That will continue. Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing from the people.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
You're all set.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
Something for me? There's that.
Very much.
Okay, I thought I see Miss Wanji peek in here.
She is, she's in the hall.
Was, yeah, I think she's still.
Mr. Austin is here. You're on Terrence Holly.
Correct, Your Honor. Mr. Raleigh also represented on.
What happened with Patrick Alexander?
I don't think we've seen defendant here yet on that one. I'd have to double check with Ms. Donnelly for sure, but
Commissioner Adventure.
okay.
See Mr. Etheridge? What about Jamie Brooks Hudson?
Yes, they are here.
Okay, have you seen your attorney? Okay. Melvin Taylor,
That's who.
that's one we
was
just took
removed.
care of,
Mhm.
okay. Mary Harris,
Mary Harris has not been here. Well, that may be.
Mary Harris, I see her in the hall. And the door is open.
Thanks, Joe.
Weird. Okay, let's see here.
What they've been telling everybody though, once they pay, they take $500 from me and then they say, hey, wait 10 days.
We are minute.
Okay.
Okay, and Miss Harris? Okay, on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Mary Jean Harris, 19-03855. Harris, please.
Morning, Your Honor. Case marked hearing appearing on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor, and everyone. Before Ms. Harris, who's by my side at the council table.
Harris, how are you? I'm well, thank you. Okay, today was the date that was scheduled for preliminary examination. I have a plea sheet here. Says that Ms. Harris is going to accept an offer to plead to an added count 2 of firearms possession on a restricted premise. And that's a misdemeanor. The maximum penalty is 90 days and or $100 in fine. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
That's how you want to proceed, ma'am?
Yes.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under the penalty of perjury? If you can put your hand down. I have an advice of rights and plea information sheet. It has 2 pages. Is that your signature, ma'am?
Yes.
Did you sign this today?
Yes.
Can I put today's date on it for you?
Yes.
Okay. So you read over these rights with your attorney today?
Yes.
You understand all the rights there?
Yes.
And are you willing to give up those rights so that you can accept the offer to plead to the amended charge of possession of a firearm on a restricted premise? You understand that you have the right to be presumed innocent. And so you are innocent until proven guilty, and you would have to give up that right if you wanted to accept the offer. You understand that?
Yes.
You have the right to require the prosecutor to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt at trial. You understand that?
Yes.
And you have the right to jury trial. You can remain silent at trial by right and not have that silence be used against you. You have the right to have witnesses subpoenaed to testify for you at your trial. You have the right to see, hear, and question any of the witnesses that the prosecutor intends to call against you at your trial. And you can waive your right to silence at trial and testify on your own behalf if you like. You understand that? You're willing to give up each of those rights? Anybody threatening you to do that? Any promises being made to get you to give up these rights? Are you currently on probation or on parole? You understand that by entering a guilty plea, it could result in a conviction and that could have impact on where you can travel or get immigration status. It also could be a conviction that you may need to report on a future job application, or you may need to report it to your current employer. Do you understand that?
Yes.
As to the amended charge of firearms possession on a restricted premise, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Factual basis, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, there is also a killable gunman of North Punjab time.
That's correct, Your Honor. I might not, I don't know if I need to put it on the page.
It's on there.
Okay.
It's on the
I didn't.
19
know,
cases, not on the jail.
I
Thank
didn't-
you, Your Honor.
so.
Ms. Harris, back in July 7, 2019, while you are at Spare Hospital.
Yes.
And that's a distinct place where you cannot be gun, right? You know, and at that point, you possess a gun, and you know that you possess a gun.
Yes.
We're satisfied with the factual basis, Your Honor.
Court is satisfied with the factual basis. I'll accept your plea upon your plea to make plea voluntarily and intelligently. Off the record, I just want a criminal history, please. You can have a seat. Walking in from the jail. Maybe Carmelo? Review.
Could,
What's your name?
Carmelo Simpson.
I'm not seeing Mr. Etheridge at all. He is in another courtroom.
I did see him earlier this morning. Yeah, I think he indicated to me yesterday he might still need to speak with Mr. Simpson. But I'm not sure. We kind of started the referral process.
No, if he's gonna speak to him, he's gonna have to come down here because I'm not gonna hold him in here for a long period of time. Is there an interpreter here for something?
Yes, for M. Nazali.
Who's not here?
No, she's not here. Marie.
She failed to appear last week.
I don't know why it wasn't you.
I think the interpreter could be released since she's already in warrant status.
You can leave.
Keeping the bench warrant on that one, Earl. I think she got one last week. I was out.
Yeah, it looks like she should have been injured.
No, you can roll.
You know what's going on with Holly?
We, I believe, have just reached an updated plea agreement on that one. It's Mr. Austin and Mr. Raleigh again, sheet to sign, so they might just be going over the advice rights with their client.
Sounds good, and I just need Mr. Palmer for Jackson.
Yeah, and Mr. Pfeiffer's actually handling that one, so let me go check.
Jackson?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, back on the record. And the matter of the state of Michigan versus Mary Harris, I don't see any prior criminal history. You can make allocution.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, this is a 2019 case. I don't know why it took so long for this case to be resolved, but we also, the good news is that Ms. Harris went to he's been seen by a therapist. She's doing very well now regarding her mental health. And I do believe that this is a case where fines and costs and as much is required or so will be a good way to resolve the case. I would like the court to also know that this morning Ms. Harris told me that someone is overdriving, that someone is using her account so that she really does not have a lot of money. And
Someone is using her account?
Yeah, once a social security money comes, there is an overdraft already. So that's something that we're planning to have someone at the office help her with that, which means that she really does not have a lot of money on her. So as much fines and costs that the court may waive, we welcome in this case. And I think that what Ms. Harris has been coming to court all the time. There is no substance abuse, there is no other problem. So I don't think that probation is required here. And I would like the court to follow the board agreement for no on chapter and actually just sentence her, close the case, and let her go.
Excuse me. Thank you.
I don't know what took so long for this case to make it through the pipeline. Looks like she was arraigned over the weekend. Give her credit, time served. She has at least one big credit. You're all set.
Thank you.
On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jamie Brooks Hudson, 24-03382. Council appearance.
Morning, Your Honor. Case Mark Arian appearing on behalf of the people.
Morning, Your Honor. Attorney Derek Fitz, calls the public defender on behalf of Mr. Brooks Hudson, who is in the courtroom standing to my right.
Okay, Mr. Brooks Hudson's scheduled today for an exam, and it was for assault. Or with intent to bring bodily harm less than murder or by strangulation, and there was a domestic violence. How are we proceeding today?
Your Honor, at this time, the necessary witness, Monique Cortez, has failed to appear. Contact with her has been made. It has been a little back and forth. So while at this time I will say that people are unable to proceed, I will also state on the record that I'm going to attempt to contact Ms. Cortez again and try to gauge her interest level in having this be reissued if a dismissal could be granted without prejudice.
Counsel?
Now we ask the court to dismiss without prejudice. We're here today and prepared to go. Mr. Hudson has a PR bond. He understands that if it was dismissed without prejudice, it could be reissued anytime within statute of limitations. I've also advised him that he should not have any contact with the alleged victim for at least 72 hours, so that any non-contact provisions for this matter could be removed from the
Motion to dismiss without prejudice is granted. The case can be reissued against you. Do you understand that? Do you have any questions? We'll get you a copy of the dismissal in just a moment. You can have a seat. Thank you. Let's see, and then did you need to speak with Carmelo Simpson?
The matter is just being, I guess I should speak with him.
That was all Jessica was waiting on. The train. So you just can't have the first.
Yeah.
Are you all set with Mr. Simpson in the breakout room?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. On the record, oh, no, I'm not, because Addie's not here. I don't know where she went to.
Hey,
He said this was a remand for PCC. What are we doing with this?
Keyboard, right? Super good.
What are we doing with this?
With Simpson,
Yes.
I think we're continuing with the referral to special court. There was just a question on whether or not he would accept a plea to a 1 year to be able to do that. So I think that was all we needed to.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor, and he does accept the current plea offer, the revised plea offer that mental health court had wanted. So my understanding is that he's proved in everything. Once we give notice that he will accept the revised plea offer, they'll do the transfer order. So I think we're pretty close to the end with him.
Okay, so we really would just need a control date 30 days out to make sure.
Probably.
Okay, I can have Ms. Nash set that when she returns. So that Mr. Etheridge can, I think he's gotta go down to another court. So we're all set on this one for today. I do have something from, well, that's from the 19th. That's not, November 19th from CMH. I don't know if you got a copy of that at all, Mr. Etheridge.
I would have to check, Your Honor. I'm not sure.
Okay, it's essentially indicating that he would be best served in a residential treatment center.
I think the Jesse Vestman, who is handling the assessment, is aware of that. He had been released to treatment and had left, and he's in the process of trying to get back into treatment. He would like to go back to the House of Commons. I told him he had to address that with Ms. Vestman.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, I'll just have this set for a control date 30 days out, and someone will email you that date.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. We should set this for control date 30 days out and email Mr. Etheridge. For that one. And then you said, oh, she's bringing up quality.
Yeah, and Mr. Etheridge was also on Shearer. I don't know if he logged out.
He did. You're all set, Mr. Simpson. You can let the deputy know that.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
You're welcome. And then I don't know what happened to Jackson. Jackson was here. Oh, okay.
Paperwork, may I approach?
Yes. Okay, on the record in the matter to the people of the state of Michigan versus Terrence Hawley, this is file number 24-02773 and 24-01357, council appearances.
Morning, Your Honor. Case Markarian appearing on behalf of the people.
And thank you, Your Honor. Good morning. Jared Austin appearing on behalf of Mr. Holly in file 24-2773 FY. Mr. Holly is present with me at council table.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jacob Rowley here on behalf of Mr. Holly, file 24-01357 SM.
Okay, so with the date and the time that was scheduled for preliminary examination, the pre-trial, and a PA 53 contempt hearing. I do have a bond, I'm sorry, except for bond hearing. I do have a plea sheet that states that the people are offering for the defendant to plead guilty to count 3 aggravated domestic violence in file number 24-02773 FY. And that the people will dismiss counts 1 and 2 and dismiss the charges from count 24-01357 entirely, and that they are recommending dismissing of the bond violation. That's a complete and accurate understanding of the offer.
Yes, Your Honor.
That is my understanding of the offer, Your Honor, and I reviewed that with Mr. Holly on the plea form, and my understanding, Mr. Raleigh discussed that with him in more depth earlier this morning as well.
Yes, Your Honor.
Where are you sitting down? They're just here to do all the work while you sit there and hang out? You want to accept this offer? Okay, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under the penalty of perjury? Okay, you can put your hand down. I have an advice and rights of the information sheet. It's 2 pages. Is that your signature? Did you go over these rights with your attorneys today? You understand all the rights here? Do you want to give up these rights today? Okay, so that means that you're going to give up your right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty. And you have the right to require the prosecution prove your guilt in both of these files by proving each element of the charges being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that? I'm going to give those rights up. You have the right to remain silent at any trial and not have silence be used against you. And you have the right to a jury trial. You have the right to see, hear, or question any of the witnesses called to testify against you at trial. You can have witnesses subpoenaed to testify on your own behalf, or you can waive your silence and testify at your trial if you like. That's all rights that you'd have to give up today. You understand that? Is anybody threatening you to give those rights up? Has there been any promises extended to you if you give up these rights? Are you currently on probation or on parole? Which one? Before which court? Until when? Oh. Understand that by pleading guilty, it could have impact on your travel or immigration status that you may seek in the future. It also could be something that you need to report to a future or current employer. And unlikely that it has any impact if you were just placed on probation, but this could have impact on your probation status. You understand that? Okay, do you have any questions about that? Okay, as to the count 3 of aggravated domestic violence in 24-02773, how do you plead? Is that because you believe you're guilty? You're all set. Have a factual basis.
Yes, Your Honor, if I may. Mr. Hawley, taking you back to June the 19th of this year, 2024, were you at or near the location of 517 Edgewood Boulevard in Lansing, Michigan?
Yes.
Is that here in Ingham County?
Yes.
And at that date, time, and location, did you have contact with a Jessica Redmond?
Yes.
And is that someone that you were either presently in a dating relationship with or had previously been in a dating relationship with? And at that date, time, and location, you had contact with Miss Redmond, and out of anger, you grabbed her and began to drag her across the ground. Is that correct?
Yes.
And that caused some scraping to her arm, and those were injuries that she went to urgent care and sought treatment for. Is that correct? Satisfactory, Your Honor?
Any questions from the prosecutor?
No, Your Honor, people are satisfied with the factual basis.
First, satisfied with the factual basis, I'll accept your plea if I'm you may plead voluntarily and intelligently. Count for the remaining counts, and that will be dismissed, and then the file number 24-01357 will be dismissed. I think the bond violation that I have was from July.
It might have been submitted in July, Your Honor. I think it was the same facts as the felony file that we just took the plea for.
Okay, so, and that's dismissed as well. Your sentencing date is January 24th at 9 o'clock in the morning. You do need to meet with probation so they can provide the court with a pre-sentence report along with a recommendation as to how you're going to be sentenced or how you should be sentenced, okay? January 24th at 9 a.m. Do we have anything else other than this?
Yes, Your Honor, yes, any matter in the circuit court.
Okay. How long do you think he'll be in custody?
I would fully expect him to be in custody at least until that date, Your Honor.
So we'll have probation contact him with Ingham County Jail for that. Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing from you.
I have nothing additional on behalf of Mr. Hawley, Your Honor, on the felony file.
I have nothing further.
Thank you. You're good to go. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Mr. Martinez's signature on that plea sheet still. Thank you. I was trying to think, Your Honor.
So we're just waiting on Jackson.
Caught me on a good day.
Mr. Palmer is gonna handle Jackson.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor, both files. Mr. Palmer and Mr.
She
Pfeiffer.
hasn't come back from the bathroom.
I think in the hallway, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, my client. I don't know if we know where Mr. Etheridge is or what we're doing on.
I
here.
saw him back around Buchanan.
I can go check with Mr. Pfeiffer and see if he's ready. We can always wait on chair if we need, but I think it's either gonna be a waiver or adjournment, so.
Sounds good.
Try to track people down.
The record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Anthony Robert Shearer, 24-03-143, counsel appearance.
Morning, Your Honor. Case marked Aaron appearance. On behalf of the people.
Morning, Your Honor. Attorney Derek Getz, also public defender on behalf of Mr. Shearer, who is standing to my right.
Okay, Mr. Shearer was scheduled for a preliminary examination today on possession of narcotics. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, at this time, it's my understanding there's going to be an unconditional waiver by both parties on this file. However, I did want to state a couple offers on the record first. What I wanted to state was that the offer on this case was to plead to an added count 3 of controlled substance use of narcotics. We are unconditionally waiving, but there is talks of a pending global resolution. So at the very worst, what would continue to circuit court is that current offer of playing to an added count 3 of controlled substance use on this file. But based on the global negotiations, there is a possibility that this file could get dismissed entirely, depending on how those work out. I know there's also, I think, some referral process going on to specialty courts as well.
That's an accurate statement of the status of the case at this point. I would only add that Mr. Shearer is also trying to get into inpatient treatment, and he's in the process of getting assessed for specialty court as the prosecutor is advised.
Okay, Mr. Shearer, how are you?
I'm okay, Your Honor.
Okay. You understand that you have the right to have a preliminary examination on count 1 of possession of narcotics?
I do, Your Honor.
And you want to waive your exam?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that by waiving it, that means that there will be no hearing held at the district court that requires the prosecution to establish that they have sufficient probable cause that the felony was committed and probable cause sufficient to charge you with the felony. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Anybody threatening you to get you to waive it?
No, Your Honor.
Any promises being made to you if you waive your exam?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, your bind over date's gonna be the 18th of December. That's the date circuit court gets involved with the district court. You don't have to appear in the circuit court that date unless your attorney makes a motion to have you rearranged on that date, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Otherwise, your next court date will be a pretrial. Your attorney will be made aware. Do you have any question?
No, Your Honor.
Bond was set at 3,000, 10%. That's gonna continue. Any additional matters for the record?
Your Honor.
Your Honor, regarding the bond condition, he is asking the court if the court would modify the bond in some way that would allow release to inpatient treatment once they've been.
It would match my other bonds on my other charge, Your Honor. I've been in jail 4 months. I've been in cats the whole time. I'm just trying to move forward with my treatment. Like I said, I mean, I'm really.
He started, the reason why I had to remand you is because I did that before and you
I
left.
I understand that, Your Honor. The whole time I've been in jail, like I said, I've been in AA. I've been attending cats regularly. I've been on the
Believe that.
SPOTS program.
I'm not questioning what your participations are while you're in custody.
I
My
understand.
concern is the back and forth that I've had with you for years, with you absconding from probation and absconding from treatment, even absconding from the hospital when brought from jail to the hospital and you leaving. And so if the circuit court wants to amend this bond for that, they can do it. I'm not.
Thank you,
The
Your Honor.
bond's only 3,000, 10%.
So my other bonds are gonna hold me up for treatment anyway, Your Honor. the case that is in your crate and that has been adjourned repeatedly to see when I get adjourned, admitted into drug court, and I've been accepted in drug court.
So when's your next court date on those?
16th December.
Okay, this will be over at the circuit court that week. Any additional matters for the
How
record?
was that, or how does that?
Nothing from the
how does that work?
Yeah.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank
How
you.
would I address that bond?
She's already looking on to that prosecutor. She'll just have to include it.
On the record, in the matters of the people of the state of Michigan versus Kara Michelle Jackson, I have file number 24-03335 and then 24-01796. Council appearance.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Adam Pfeiffer on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Robert Palmer, the Public Defender's Office on behalf of Defendant Jackson in both files.
Okay, today was the date scheduled for preliminary examination in both files. And then my understanding is that there's an unconditional waiver of exam in both files. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
That's correct.
Is there an offer?
Your Honor, the offer was made today of count of domestic violence third in each file with an agreement to concurrent sentencing. I don't believe they could be consecutive, but whenever there's gray area, I always include it.
That is the offer that was extended to us, Your Honor, and that's the offer I have shared with my client. My client continues to, I guess, consider that matter. Nonetheless, we are waiving the matter to waiving preliminary examination, both cases today unconditional.
Okay. Okay, you understand that you have the right to have a preliminary examination in each of these files here in the district court?
Yes.
You understand that you have the right to require that the prosecution put forth evidence to establish that a felony was committed by probable cause standards and probable cause sufficient to charge you with those felonies?
Yes.
You wish to unconditionally waive your exam?
Yes.
Anybody threatening you to do that? Any promises being made if you waive your exams? Okay, bind over date's gonna be December 18th. That's the date the circuit court will get the file from the district court. You do not need to appear on that date, okay?
Okay.
Your next court date will be a pre-trial and your attorney will be made aware of that date. Has your address or phone number changed since you, okay. Bond in 24-03335 was 10,000 personal recognizance due to no contact order in place in GPS tether. That will continue. Any additional matters on that front?
On behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Just a second. Just to be clear, this issue has come up a couple of times. The client's wearing a tether. The tether goes off when he comes here today. Apparently the court is within restriction zone. So I just want to place that on the record just so that we.
It's been noted on the file. I
Understood.
think November 8th. I think you brought that to our attention. Court is within the exclusion zone.
Right, exactly. So that goes for both files and I'm just bringing it to the court's attention so we don't have to address the issue down here. I'm guessing that the third circuit court will not be, hopefully, fingers crossed, but we'll see.
Not that far from here. So
Right.
it could be.
True.
Is that the one in Kalamazoo?
Yeah.
I have to go there for pre-trial services. It doesn't go off when I'm there.
Okay, sounds good. Wonderful. I'll note here, district court is within exclusion zone. We've not had any violations. So I think that alert probably was the only issue. I'll see here.
Thankfully, I think JSG recognizes the court address.
I think that would be concerned if they didn't. Okay, let's see. Wait. Bond on this file was 50,000 personal recognizance with GPS tether. That will continue. Any additional matters for the record?
Not on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Nothing to defense here.
Thank you. You're all set.
Oh, we don't. Yeah, get a next court. So she said December 18th, but that's just the date. Or get your file. They'll schedule it. Okay, I'll call it. All right, take care. Take care.